Ordinance number 972-2025 have been approved by the Health Department Director, Director of Finance, as well as the Law Director. Sir?
Thank you to the council. With me to my right is Commissioner David Hearn for the Division of Air Quality.
Good morning, members.
You gotta tap your...
I don't know if this is working.
This is on that. Could we go ahead and use that?
Okay. Good morning, council members. This is a request for us to accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Public Health, and this grant is intended to allow us to monitor for radiation, potentially because we're situated smack dab between two nuclear power plants. And this monitors, and we collect these samples, and they are sent to the lab for analysis. So it's an important work.
Yeah. How does that work, and what instruments are you using to monitor and control the radiation? You said that it's in the middle of two nuclear plants?
Yes.
So tell us about the system and the processes.
The system and processing is, we have a air monitoring device that is located at Berkeley Front Airport. And this device just pulls in air, and it's the device screens out any particulates, including any radiologic materials. And then I believe it's weekly or bi-weekly, we collect the samples, and they are sent to the Ohio Department of Health lab and analyzed, and so far we've been very fortunate. There haven't been any major issues.
So when you monitor the radiation, when you mention issues, you're not really telling me anything, and we mentioned the process. So let's say if there's an issue, let's say you get to a certain point where there's a danger zone or a certain point where we should be at, and how do you monitor that, and what instruments are you using to monitor it?
That work is conducted by Ohio Department of Health, and they are the measurers and have the protocols in place should there be an issue. We're not directly analyzing the samples or really controlling any of the data.
So if there's any issues or I get to a critical path, who do they reach out to? I mean, they just tell you?
Presumably the Director of Public Health in Cleveland.
All right, and you do what, Director?
That's why I have two phones, you know?
Okay. You got two phones for when I call you 2 in the morning.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so there are protocols in place. We involve, the fire department is involved. There's a regional team that's involved, the Cuyahoga County Office of Emergency Management, our team, Emergency Management, and so it's all hands on deck.
It's all hands on deck. And so what is and if something happens, you do what? The critical path.
It depends what the something is. So there's just different protocols depending on the concern and the level. So most of the time, knock on wood, it would be a false alarm, and so we work through that with the state Bureau of Radiation to determine if we need to alarm people or not. And it's a rare event. We check in with all the other factors, stakeholders out there, if they know of anything going on, and so all hands on deck. I'd call you.
Yeah, I'll be up sometime. You know what? This what happens, which I see sometime. We get, and I'm not saying you're lax on it, or you're lax on it. Never ever get lax on anything. Never. Because a lot of time disasters and things happen when people will get lax. And they say, this never happened before, and we just kick it back. Next thing you know, here's a disaster that's coming up on us. So you have to always stay on top of it, sir.
I agree.
Matter of fact, we have a training this week, so on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday. So
Yeah, the orientation-
related.
The kickoff starts, that's why I was smiling
Right.
when you were saying
Yeah,
that.
10 o'clock.
because
10 o'clock is when
irony is- is that
our huddle
exact
is, right?
And how often do they train you?
Very often.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, big training like this might be a couple times a year, but,
Right,
but
but-
there's frequent.
There elements of those are exercised quite frequently. We also, there are audits that go on and various control systems, I guess would be the phrase to use.
I'd like to know. Any other questions on ordinance number 972-2025? Council lady?
Good morning, through the chair. How much is the grant?
The grant, I believe, is for 70,000?
It's not in the, I don't know, did I miss it? It's not in the legislation?
No, it's not in here.
It's not in-
Estimated cost is not in here.
It was in the draft. One of the
It's on
issues
that,
we
should be on
have,
that council summary. It'll be on
right,
that council
one of the
summary, yeah.
issues we have is that the money coming from Ohio Department of Health is appropriated by the federal government. And we haven't seen a firm dollar amount on that yet. We are assuming, based on previous grants, that it will be consistent, and that's how we developed our budget for this legislative request.
Council lady?
So through the chair to the team, and so since we don't, okay, so again, I guess the question is, do we do the monitoring even if this isn't reimbursed from the Ohio Department of Health?
At this moment, we are not conducting that monitoring. However, Ohio Department of Health is collecting those samples.
Council lady?
So the work is, I'm sorry,
Are you okay?
yeah, through the chair to the council person, the work is being conducted. We are not performing the work. So the safety net is there, but it's at the ODH expense.
Okay, and the chair to the team, so, and, when the allocation comes, then we will get the numbers, and is there a way or a mechanism in our legislation to ensure, without probably the legislative action, to be able to update this, so it actually could be a part of the record for whoever else may, just want to know to keep monitoring and keep tabs on?
Director?
Through the chair, I believe it's in the council summary, so that's part of the record.
It's
No.
not. We
Okay.
don't have a council, we won't even have a council summary.
Okay, well, we submitted one,
No, we don't have it here.
so we can make sure that it's attached on there.
Can you give it to us if it's passed in finance, if it's passed? I just cut across you. I'm sorry, Councilwoman.
No, I just wanted to make sure, I think it's really helpful, because a lot of times we have these things and the information isn't there, and it should be a part of it, so. Thank you.
Yep, yep, we've emailed it, but we will email it again.
Just bring it to finance also, because, the councilwoman is extremely bright and it's going to come up in finance, and I'll be there when it comes. Can you bring it to finance and just hand it out?
Certainly.
Okay. Any other questions on ordinance number 972-2025? Oh, stand approved. Thank you very much. Hey, before you leave with the air quality, I reached out, and I've been reaching out several times to invite you guys to my community meeting at True Vine Church in the Glenville community to discuss air quality. Air quality is very, 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 very important, and just thinking about you now. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I made a mistake on that one. Air quality, and I want you to be there, and I'm looking at Cassidy, director, attendant also. You know what I'm talking about, right? Because she's talking about the trees, and she's talking about the environment, and she's discussing air quality with me. And that's always in the back of my mind. We don't discuss it enough because it's very important.
Let us know a time and a date, and we'll be there.
Well, I reached out to you, had my assistant to reach out to you twice, and Imani did. She said,
To David?
yeah, that's what she said.
No, he answers the phone.
I don't believe,
Will you give me your number, and when I go back there, I'll give it to
Okay,
her.
great.
thank you.
And I need you guys to be there to discuss air quality,
We will certainly be there.
you know, and bring us a chart, how is Glenville doing? Okay, and, this is, this is very important to me. And then the other, part, Director, what I see is the idling with the cars.
Yep.
And around, and not just the citizens' cars. And what I'm looking at is the city of Cleveland vehicles. Man, they're idling everywhere, and it affects the environment.
Yes. Yes, so thank you to the chair. You've amended the legislation, our previous anti-idling ordinance to allow the health department to help to enforce that and for us to have signs on hand. And so we've put in our budget request for an additional amount of money to help us get those signs. And then our team has putting into place a plan and promotions around our anti-idling ordinance.
Send a letter out to the other departments, or a memo to the, let's say, the safety department, to the, about the issues and concerns with that. Because we have a, coming up this year, before the health department adjourn for Christmas, we're going to be discussing the other air issue with a plant in the city of Cleveland. We are going to do that.
Good.
And but we got to lead the charge too. You can't just go and say, well, we got to talk with these plants and these other companies in the city of Cleveland about idling, or there are what affects our air quality if we don't show the way. In leadership, you have to show the way. And when you see it, I mean, you see it on East Boulevard, you see it on West Boulevard, you see it throughout the city. Majority of, when the city of Cleveland, our workers are driving vehicles, resurfacing streets and the whole 9 yards, and you see the idling with our vehicles. And we got to deal with that. To keep the air quality down. Now, I don't know, I tell you what I don't know how to deal with is there's a rough part, because you know when you pick up, switching gears to the civilian side, when you pick your children up and then your vehicle is idling, and especially in the wintertime, I don't know how to deal with that. So you're the expert.
Yeah, we got ideas.
Oh, you have ideas? Yeah, we do the expert opinions, man. This is serious.
Yeah.
This is a serious piece.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I
And that's
listen.
an area that we do receive complaints on from other parents, other citizens.
When you go to East Boulevard, when they're having weddings and other kind of activities and events, cars are idling on the boulevard. Even when you have the signs up there, Director, sorry for pointing.
No, that's okay.
Even when you have the signs
Yeah.
there, they're idling. So we got to change the behavior.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not talking about giving tickets with fines, you know, maybe warnings and things like that to try to change behavior, because you don't want to make it a monetary issue. You know, like they did with the, what was that, the trash issue? Kind of made it a monetary issue. I didn't like that at all. You know, so that's how we'll handle it. Any other, since we're open right now, any questions? But I do need you at Trevine. Thank you very much. With that, we will adjourn from the Health and Human Service and Arts Committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll try and track down that.
Chris.